Okay.
No, you gotta mute yourself.
Oh.
All right. We are being recorded now. Here we go. So one of the things we want to talk about here is, and we've talked about this topic before, but it's really important, and we're going to hit it from a different angle tonight. It's basically high-yielding questions, and what does that look like? I just want to share with you what I've learned today that it was an aha moment for me. I'm not sure it's going to be for everybody else, but some of you have been around long enough to remember the Juice Plus Effect Survey. They used to, once you get done with your very first 4 months, you would answer, 15 questions, Jess? And it was questions like, do you notice that your hair is growing, or that your fingernails are growing, or have you been sick in the last 4 months, or how is everything flowing through you well? Those kind of things. And the important point is, sometimes people would start the survey in thinking that they hadn't seen any changes, and as they were being asked questions, they'd be like, oh yeah, that's true, my fingernails are growing faster, or yeah, my hair is growing faster, or my skin does look better. And those kind of questions created an understanding and a discovery inside of those people that they didn't have when the call started. So there's 3 things that we're looking for with high-yielding questions, okay? Number 1 is that we learn about the person we're talking to, okay? It's number 1. That seems kind of obvious, right? Number 2 is that when you're asking those kind of questions, they either see you as a very nosy person, right? Or they see that you care about them. Most people are going to go, wow, you're a great conversationalist because you listen and you ask questions. Every now and then people will think that you're prying by asking a lot of questions, but we don't run into that very often. But the number 3 thing, and I think this is the one that I hadn't necessarily been connecting the dots on myself, was that you're going to help them discover, okay, things that maybe they had never thought of before. Some of those high-yielding questions around the business, and they're really important, is to ask questions like, well, so when do you plan on retiring, or what are you going to do for retirement? Jess and I plan on following our kids around when they're in college and watch them play sports. And so other parents who have kids playing sports, I'm going to ask them the same question. So are you going to be able to have the time and the freedom to follow them around and watch them play sports? And for the most part, the default answer is going to be no. I wish we could, but we can't. And so, plan B can start to turn into plan A. So, for those of you who played basketball before, we talk about the importance of that one more pass. You can take a contested jump shot, or you can take an open jump shot. And if you were sometimes to take that one extra pass, you can get a wide open jumper. And so that's the important part is sometimes it's about asking one more question. So quite often we really get excited and we stop asking questions because it's our turn. We want to talk about what we are excited and have passion about. Where if we'd have just had one more question, asked one more question, then we could have found out possibly where the open jump shot was, meaning the area of, or the perspective and the angle at which you could probably take to help them understand what our opportunity is. So does anybody have any questions on that? Doug Barlow put together a list of high-yielding questions. Jess, it is put out where? On your drive?
I don't think we added it.
So we can send that out to everybody. I'm pretty sure it's not open or available through Mission Driven System, but we can make sure we put that out. Marina, would that make sense to put it out on the Marina and Jen on the Dropbox drive? Who all has access to that?
It's just us right now, but we can give access.
We could start another team one.
Yeah, so we'll figure out a place to put it, and then we'll.
What about the Facebook? One of our group pages.
Yeah, that might be a great idea. It's just a Word document, and while it's not the most complete document as far as all the different questions you can ask. It's a really good start, and you get your brain going on that. So if there's no more questions on high-yielding questions, I'm going to turn this over to Jess for the second part of this, and she's going to tie that in with what we're doing next. So.
Okay, can you guys hear me? You have to like
Yes.
unmute and mute at the same time so we don't get the computer crossover. So when I was for many years or several years when I was first in this business, we talked about the three-way call a lot. And that's something we, at any boot camp, at any conference, we were using as a huge tool. By a show of yay or nay, does anyone not know what a three-way call is? Anybody not know? Anybody knows? Okay.
I know.
So I like how Deanna Christofferson, who's a successful NMD out of California, she calls them connections, okay? So a three-way connection. And all that means is that you're bringing in a third party. And it has been probably the most successful thing since people started this business. And yet I think as we've kind of transitioned into social media and kind of this millennial generation who doesn't like to get on the phone, we kind of stopped talking about them. And they are still the number one thing to bring people into our community, whether it's on the product or whether it's on the business.
And it's what Australia is using to really globalize.
Yeah, so one of the huge keys with Australia's success is booking, these three-way connections all day long. And so, for you guys, that means utilizing myself, Chip, Jeff, Tony, Colleen, any of your upline, really even sideline that you feel could connect with this other person or there is relating with their story. Something like that. And you basically don't even have to talk. Your work is setting up the appointment. And then we do the talking. Does that sound good to everyone? Yes. Right? So for me, that looks like bringing in Colleen, Jeff, Tony, Mitra, whoever, to talk to my prospects for frontline team or whatever. But that with the power of videos, that is the power of third party, right? And instead of listening to you try to explain why athletes, and their increased oxidation needs more fruits and vegetables, it's actually better heard from a 3-minute video from Jeff Olson or Dr. David Phillips, So these powerful tools to get another party in has always been a huge part of our success. So one of the things Chip and I were talking about, and, two things. Let me back up. What Chip was just talking about with Dropbox, you guys know that missiondrivensystem.com is where like the majority of our resources are, okay? And we want to keep that. I mean, if you need almost any resource or document or whatever, you can go there and find it. But we have started a Dropbox, like for things like Eric Warre's GoPro book on audio, that's in there. Stuff like that we can talk about on Voxer as far as increasing everyone's ability to get to these files. And it's a free app on a phone. I know, bear with me, those of us over 40. It's another app to download on the phone, but we got to get used to it because it makes life easier. And then the other thing is, let me turn this off, it's distracting, is the Google Calendar. So thank you to Marina for getting that out. I think Marina and Jen worked on that, but getting that out so we can have a calendar upload onto our calendar. So we are not missing things. And really, you guys, this is about making things simpler and efficient. Are you with me on that? Right? Yes. So we can, just have access to everything without having to search for it. We know where it's in, like, three places. It's one of those places that we can access to. So one of the things Chip and I talked about with these three-way connections is me putting time slots out on the calendar, and I think we can do this. Did you say we could do it through Google Calendar?
Yes, I believe so. Marina and Jen, I'll work through that, where she can put down that I'm open from this block of time, and then you guys can go ahead and step on it with just first come, first serve with a half hour, three-way.
So I'm going to do half-hour time slots and multiple hours.
And I'll do the same thing. I'll put my availability on the calendar each week too.
Yeah. And then if you feel like somebody else is better connected with who you want to talk to, no problem. But that would just require, to Vox Mitra or to Vox or text Tony or whatever. But we want to make ourselves available and kind of like a goal of 10 calls a week. Okay, so my preference now is a Zoom call because I love looking at your pretty faces right now. Zoom, we want to see, we want to watch. That's why our company came out with its first video on research, which if you have not checked that out, I uploaded it to Voxer, but it is so exciting. I'm in love with it because people want to watch something. People don't want to read something or, we're over it, right? We want to watch something. So it can be an old-fashioned phone call, no problem. But honestly, I would rather do a three-way Zoom if that's possible, or meet for actual coffee or cocktail. Yes, Jen, question.
I have a question. I've struggled with how to invite people to a Zoom. Like, hey, come get on a call with my friend you've never met. And I'm awkward around that. I don't really know
That is a great question. And if you hear me, I don't know if I can address that one or not.
Yeah.
So one of the tips we've got is when you tell somebody, and again, I'll just take a step backwards here. If you're still trying to get your business customer qualified and what you're wanting to do is get more orders, then you can use this to talk about the product, okay? We're also here to talk about, the opportunity. So you can combine the two, mix and match, or you can just say this is a call about the opportunity or this is a call about the product, right? If you're customer qualified, you're definitely focusing on team. And so that's where you're trying to do now is you go through a team building exercise. So the one successful things that NMDs and hunter clubbers are doing, they're using each other. Hunter clubbers are still using each other for three-way calls because they've just found the power of third-party validation. So when they go to somebody, what they do is they try to gather as much information about, what it is they do, how many kids they have, or they, what do they do for a living, all of that kind of pertinent information. You share it with the person that's going to do the three-way. And then when you go to that person, you say, hey, listen, I'm really excited about the product or this opportunity or the mission we're on. And I'm so excited about it. I would love if you would be willing to spend a little bit of time with us and listen to a friend of mine who really can, lay it out really well. And I think it'd be extremely helpful to hear from he, she, it, whoever it is. Marina, you've done a lot of inviting for three ways for Jess and I. What do you normally say?
Well, a big one I was just going to give advice to everyone on was if you use Jess's video. So I guess you have to apply to your audience. But then if you use that video, then you can be like, hey, now let's get on a call with the girl in this video. Like, it's kind of cool if it applies at all to them to like show them that video and then be like, yeah, and now I can like hop on a call with her and like she's the pro. It's awesome. So that's a great way to do it. But I don't know. I've just kept it like super casual because like most of the people I talk to know I just graduated college. They know I'm not like some 10-year pro in something. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like just getting into this. It's awesome. And I'd really love to like hop on a call with you, me, and Chip or Jess and explain it more. Like, I don't know. I've just kept it like super casual. I didn't even like think of it as weird, I guess. Like, it's funny to hear you say that, Jen. Like, it never even dawned on me that is kind of weird. Like, now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, that is kind of weird. But if you just like keep it super casual, I don't think it'll come off that weird.
Yeah, I was going to say, of course, everything we do has to have a lightness about it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are, when we're talking about Juice Plus, the most important thing is how that other person is feeling, right? Our energy is the most important thing, not the exact perfect thing to say, but it's our energy. They want to see our passion, right? And then, when you're asking for the sale, because if you haven't picked that up yet, you actually have to ask for the sale. Okay, people are not just going to run around and hand you credit cards. I mean, once in a while you'll get that, but it's casual. It's like, hey, you ready to give it a go? Like, you ready to get on board? And it's a casual kind of light thing. It's not like you do not want them feeling like my life is over unless you say yes, right? It's like, yeah, come join the fun. Come, be you. I think it was Jules Meeker was like, I think, I'm trying to remember who said this, but it was like, do you want to get on the bandwagon with me? Because I'm on the bandwagon. You want on the bandwagon? Like, have fun with it, and what is authentic to you. But another thing I was going to say, Jen, is use the card. So Marina's using the card of, here's is my friend Jess's story. She shares my video. Now let's get on a call with her. Setting me up as the professional. That's always good when we're inviting to something too. Like, this is the expert, not me. But kind of play that. You can play that like, I'm just getting into this and they're going to explain it just a lot better than me. Right? Or using you've known me for a long time. If it's someone that you know well, you've known me. I'd rather have you hear it from someone neutral or from a third party because you know me too well or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's listen, so what we're going to do when we get on is ask more questions, okay? More of those high yielding questions to try to drill down a little bit more and find out about that person. Number two is, what is more effective is to tell somebody else's story or have that person tell their own. So here's an example. So if you've got a mom that really is on a mission, Toni Olson is fantastic about that. She actually has videos on it. If you've got a world-class athlete, Jeff Olson's good at that. If you've got a personal trainer or a former athlete, Jess is good at that. If you've got somebody that's in corporate America and is looking at this thing like, I don't know, pick me. I'm really good at that. And so pretty soon, all of you guys are going to be resources for that as well, where people will reach out to you. If you have a doctor, we actually have somebody, Dr. Mitra Ray, that a lot of times will do a three-way call with you for a doctor. She's done it with Jess before. So we have resources. So think about it like that.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah. One last thing, Carrie, before your question.
Yeah,
last thing, Jen and everyone, is just relating stories. Just be like, you know what? I have this awesome, friend or business partner and friend, and your story or kind of your situation makes me think of theirs. And I think that would benefit you to kind of hear their story, Okay, Carrie?
I guess my question is, I'm trying to ask myself, do I want to build my business with new people wanting to get into, like, with new people wanting to make money, or do I want to utilize my very broad customer base and try to, pick a raving fan or, get a raving fan to be a part of the business? So let's say I'm going to use my customer base, since they already know the benefits of Juice Plus. I don't know how to ask them.
Oh, that's easy.
Because none of them, nobody's like said, oh, I don't have enough money, or nobody's given me, there's no hooks that I can grab onto,
Okay, so a couple things is, one, why limit yourself to either or? Of course, both. Yes is the answer, right? So when it comes to your customer base, I guarantee you most people who are needing money are not going to be very open about it. It's not something that they're just going to be talking about unless someone's close to you or you ask them. So when we are doing some customer care, some customer loving on, okay, one of the questions that you can ask is, when you're talking about, like, when you're just saying, hey, how's your Juice Plus going? Or let's say they've been on it for 2 years. I mean, if they've given you any type of referrals, that's an easy in. Hey, I so appreciate your referrals and I will gladly keep taking them. But would you want to take a look at doing this and offsetting your own cost or being a part of the mission? You know, one of the things that I've been using is, you know, there are a handful of reasons why people say yes to joining our Juice Plus company. One of them, you know, maybe a financial need. And that's something, you know, my ears are always up for, you know, they can only do my kids can only do X, Y, and Z because of our budget, or, you know, can't quite get that car yet because, you know, we can't afford it yet or whatever. But now I just lost my train of thought. Chips
a handful of issues.
What's that? Yeah. Or thank you. Is maybe it's mission driven. You know, maybe people are looking for to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and we have an amazing mission.
And here's another one. If they've called you up and says we have to cancel because we can't afford it anymore, that's an in to say, hang on a second. You know, you've been on Juice Plus for however long, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years. And now you obviously love it, but have to give it up. Are you in need of money? And that is a natural end.
Mm-hmm. So does that help, Carrie, at all?
Yeah, it sure does.
Okay.
And we can go deeper on that at another call.
We could definitely.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the biggest thing is we're asking those questions, and we want to get into our customers' lives and make sure that they're enjoying their Juice Plus. And then as we are just getting to know them and loving on them more, then those things may open up. And, you know, we always say this is not for everyone, but I've been getting a ton of meetings with people just say, can I buy you a cup of coffee? Will you let me buy you a cup of coffee? And of course I've already established these are all people that have been customers. Will you let me buy you a cup of coffee? Someone just told me. So I'll tell you this, Carrie, I had no idea she was in need of money. This is a customer of mine for probably 3 years. And we were having lunch, a group of us, moms, school moms, and she's evaluating companies to work from home. And she's looking at LuLaRoe, which is a $5,800 startup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realize it's a lot of money, but I hear you make your money back fast. I'm like, really? Anyway, I didn't want to doubt, but I said, I know her well enough. I said, will you let me buy you a cup of coffee and just show you what we do? Because we're all different. And she said, sure. So it's just, can I just buy you a cup of coffee? And then It's not for everyone, but do you have open ears to see if it's a fit for you or not? You know, and there's absolutely no threat in that, right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yep. Wrap it up.
One other thing. There is a document out here that the NMD's 100 Club has been using called Potential Team Member Profile. That is not required, but it's super helpful. We can put it out there when we put Doug's high yielding question notes out in the same place. That if you fill it out and email it to us ahead of time, so that we can have a little bit of knowledge about the person we're talking to, that's always helpful, right? So we'll put that out at the same time. And I know we got to wrap up because we got to get the Mitras call. So
one last announcement. Today is the last day for two announcements for promotion stuff. So the Juice Plus promotions, those of us who went to conference, we've changed companies. There's a lot of cute, fun stuff. The free shipment ends today, and it's all capital letters, ship free, and then the number 1. If you haven't ordered stuff and you want to order stuff. And then lastly, if you are trying to get qualified or make a promotion, today they had some AT&T disturbance, so they've extended it to tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, noon Central Time, just so you know. Thanks so much, you guys, for your time, and I love seeing you guys on Zoom, and I love that we're getting more consistent about being together on Monday nights. So if you could just listen in on the next half hour of Mitra's call and just multitask. I know we haven't even eaten dinner yet, so that's what the kids are listening to. But this is why we moved our call up, because I think it's really going to be useful. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks.